Namaste and good morning to everyone. Today is a momentous occasion in the history of both our institutions when we are about to sign an MoU for collaboration between IISER Tirupati and IIT Tirupati. At the outset, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati, and Professor K.N. Ganesh, Director, IISER Tirupati, both of whom have actually envisioned this MoU, and they are the principal architects of this effort to formalize the collaborations which were hitherto happening in a sort of an informal way. I also welcome my counterpart, Prasad Garu, who has also worked with me on this MoU, and to all the deans, chairpersons, HODs from IIT Tirupati, and the chairpersons, associate deans, faculty, coordinator academic programs from IISER Tirupati, who have taken time out to gather here on this occasion to witness this signing of the MoU. It all started, as far as my knowledge goes, when Professor Satyanarayana, in one of the wedding receptions of Professor Raghu, mentioned that we need to formalize this MoU. We have been talking about it. Now it's taking time. It's time we did something. So somewhere around the beginning of March, we drafted an MoU and then sent it across to IIT. Then, of course, COVID struck, but we continued to exchange mails and then went through a few iterations. And then finally, the board of IISER Tirupati approved it on 11th June 2020, where the representatives of MHRD were also present, and MHRD, in fact, on their comments to the agenda, gave us the clear go-ahead and appreciated this effort that both the institutions are making. While we had continued to work together all this while, now it's time that we formalize this arrangement, and because both these institutions came into existence as a part of the AP Reorganisation Plan, as we all know. And it's a unique thing that my director always keeps mentioning, that this is the only city in the country which has both an IIT and IISER. And if we have to come together, or if we can come together and synergize our efforts, then it would be for the benefit of both the institutions, the students, and the faculty. Today we are about to set this example of active collaboration and cooperation in many areas, including sharing of resources, faculty resources, equipment, shared spaces, sports facilities, medical, and so on and so forth. So without taking much more time, let me once again welcome all of you, and I now request our Director, Professor Ganesh, to make his remarks.
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me extend my own and on behalf of the Institute, welcome to Director IIT Tirupati, Professor Satyanarayana, and all the colleagues, the IIT team, and also my own colleagues here from IISER. As it was mentioned, it's a historic day. Although we are in existence for more than 5 years, we've been working informally. But today, we are going to formalize it officially through a joint MoU. We have now taken this thing because, as it was mentioned, very recently both the Board of Governors of IISER Pune and also, IISER Tirupati, my God, still 5 years, I have not changed. IISER Tirupati and IIT Tirupati, they have approved, and in fact they were very appreciative. Ideally we should have done long time back, but nevertheless, not only we are signing a MoU after 5 years, but we have a much stronger purpose in doing so. Actually, our collaboration in a way started informally. I think I must say March 28, 2015. Yeah. Any of you remember the date? There is a date on which the foundation stone was laid on IISER Tirupati campus. All the three institutions were together. And that's where our real collaboration started, informally. And after that, then we visited, at the time I was still at Pune, and then Professor Satyanarayana was working almost full-time here. And we started our meetings together for hunting the transit campus. I still remember, they were much faster. Professor Tirupati was much faster when we came here. Already they had identified a building and they had already planned out, the 3 floors, how they're going to functionalize the existing building. And we were still struggling, IISER Pune, to find a place. And Professor Tirupati told me that if you have a problem, you occupy the top floor, you can start the institute, and then when you resolve you can start. But luckily, we got this building, and so that's where we started our roots here. Otherwise, probably would have landed up in the same, complex where IIT started. And the first year, it was very interesting, 2015, because we didn't have much faculty. We had very, very limited, maybe 1 faculty per discipline, 1 in physics, 1 in chemistry, 1 in biology, like that. And that's where IIT again, started right from that day. And Professor P.C. Deshmukh, I think I must give a lot of credit to Professor P.C. Deshmukh, because he really brought the 2 institutes together on a real functional platform. So Professor P.C. Deshmukh, he taught, in the very first year, some courses, and with his enormous experience of teaching at IIT Madras and also at IIT Tirupati, it was a great influence. A lot of my younger colleagues who joined later on got benefited from him. So he was a visiting faculty, and also what he did was he started taking students on some projects. In fact, already we have quite a few publications, joint publications. I think the only things which have come out, if I recollect, is only through the student and Professor Deshmukh's interaction. We have few articles which have been published together jointly. And then I joined in 2017, on and off, I was coming here. We didn't have much contact, but 2018, we had a joint conference on atomic and molecular and optical physics, which was held here. And that is a real effort jointly by the 2 institutes. The faculty worked very hard. And very, very nice, 1 session in IIT, 1 session here, and another session somewhere else, like that we had done it. So that was a real joint conference when the faculty started getting to, come together, etc. And as I said, Professor Deshmukh really seeded a lot of cooperative efforts, and a lot of our students were working, with the project. He was a great mentor. And his enthusiasm also led to establishment of now a joint center in CAMOST, it is called, anagram, Center for Atomic, Molecular and Optical Physics, Science and Technology, I think. That was done, and that also we formally launched about 3 months back, I think somewhere in April, May, I don't remember. We launched, and some activities have already started with our 2 or 3 faculty and their faculty working together in joint projects. And I think the latest news is that we might hold a second conference, international conference, again driven by Professor P.C. Deshmukh, sometimes, in very near future. That will be a webinar, actually, mostly the conference. Now, and also when we were constituting, we were very conscious that each one of us should be, play a role, be a part of the committees of the other institute. So, director of, IIT Tirupati, Professor Satyanarayana, is a member of our Senate. Although he is the chairman of his own Senate, nevertheless, he agreed to be a member in our Senate. And that is very, very important, because we also have other member of Senate is from Professor Shankar Narayan from IIT Madras. And these things really bring out the course academic structure, the rigor, etc. of IITs into IISER. That is a real collaborative effort has happened. At IISER Pune, I must say that we didn't have all these advantages. Here, we have a very nice way to calibrate ourselves with the tremendous, well-established teaching course structures of IITs, evaluation, etc. So both of them are in our Senate, and our Senate meetings are very, very interesting. We critically analyze, thanks to them. Don't take it for granted, they're very deeply analyzed from all the angles. So they've been very, very useful. And next came, after we were actively involving in physics, and some of the faculty in physics were teaching some courses, sometimes in part, sometimes in full. But after Professor Pullarao joined, I think in chemistry also we are getting together. I think once he came along with 3 of his faculty, and we looked into each of our courses, and we found that there are quite a few opportunities where our faculty can teach course for IT and vice versa. So that has brought us together. It's also good that, in many of when we have this PhD program, when we have this thesis advisory committee, it's always good to put one faculty from another institute. and IIT being close, and that helps us bring together. So now that the chemistry faculty have their physics faculty are there, so many of them are members of our thesis advisory committee. So on academic matters, we are getting close together even without having MoU, etc. And then started this COVID in March, and it's also very good. Another joint effort is we are neighbors, and also as you see, we also share the same initials, KN and KN. So our collaborations are quite far-fetched. So we are also neighbors. So we keep meeting often, and we often discuss. And I must recall today that when we were in one of those in the morning when we met, at that time I had not even thought about online teaching. This was just after 1 week or 2 weeks of our thing, and then Satyanarayana mentioned, "Oh, we have started online teaching. We have got these Zoom licenses. We have started." In fact, that really triggered something. My God, IIT has done that. We have not done it. So in a way, sometimes this also fires you up when there's advantage of having good institutions around you. So within 1 week, I came and talked to my colleagues, and we also started the online courses, and it's been very good. In fact, we started much before any of the other IISERs started. In fact, they were all consulting us, how to do these online courses, etc. After that came, we are holding even online exams, Prasanna said, and immediately one of the Senate he mentioned, and then we got the same thing, we started working, and we are now done with TCS. A complete midterm exam was done online with, completely students accessing their computer from their home. A lot of, problems are there because TCS is not used to our way of examination system, where they're only on the objective types, they can do very quick screening, but our students, they write, they're uploaded, PDF files, etc. But I think, Professor Ambika and other colleagues, the Dean Academic, so Rajesh and Ram, they all work together. Now we have optimized the TCS system to do our kind of examinations. In fact, last few glitches are there, which we are ironing out. And again, all the other IISERs are contacting us. How are you able to manage? So we can now give consultancy to others or how to adopt this kind of, In fact, the attendance was almost 98.5%. Students complained quite a lot. Oh, we don't have access to computer, internet and all that. In fact, we even purchased about 25 computers and, as a self, we raised money from our faculty and we gave it to students. And it was very helpful. So in this way, we have conducted the midterm exam, and every students are happy. There are no major vicious issues. So if we standardize, little bit loose ends which are there, and probably our final exams will also happen. That why I was mentioning was that each of institutions we are learning from each other's experience. That is about academic things, and now the other things is about on the campus construction itself. And right from the beginning, our lands were allocated around the same time. We had to go to the state, same authorities for getting things. And Satyanarayana being an expert in engineering, civil engineering, I often seek his guidance and advice right from the way DPR, how to calculate. And he had done a wonderful DPR for the IITs. So right from those days, in fact, I never had this kind of help when I was in Pune, I must say, that it's been wonderfully working well. And has helped us a lot in giving ideas. And then the IIT engineers, the faculty were also involved in vetting some of our architect drawings, which is needed to be done. So that is another help. And then finally, selection of contractors also. Some faculty were members of the committees. So constantly we are, interacting and taking advantage of our mutual expertise. And during COVID, again, it started like this. There was IT came with the idea of we can make masks, we can make, shields, etc. Again, they wanted some biology help, in measurement of, bacterial thing, contamination, etc. And Vasudha and her colleagues worked on that. So together they worked on thing. And I think, I don't know, there's a project which was approved, whether both is a joint project or it came to one, I do not know. So happened. So that has happened. So the COVID again brought us, usually COVID puts people apart, distance of social distancing, but I think we have got together in several activities. It has happened. So we've been, without any formal MoU, so many activities are happening. And in lighter vein, this collaboration also resulted in migration of Chaman to IIT Tirupati, in lighter vein. I hope it will not happen in either way with our faculty or with even directors. But there's a positive thing, that tells our mutual trust and, confidence in each other's ability. Now, what is the way to go forward? Now, one is, what I would suggest is that after having come this distance, we know each other very well. In a way, it is good. Many times we write MoU first step, and we don't do anything after that. Now, we know mutually what are our strengths, expertise, etc. Now, we have to take it forward. And as I always say, this is the only city with IIT and IISER, and we have to set up a new role model for that. So one is, what I want is, I'm just putting forward some thoughts. There could be some technical issues. One is, let us, I would like to, first thing is to have one nodal person from each institute to monitor this thing, because there are too many people, then it becomes so. I would suggest that Dr. Vijay Mohan, who is Dean R&D, could be the nodal persons from our institute. So anything related to it first comes to him, and then he can, work out internally. It always helps. That is one thing. The second thing is, I don't want to, I want directors to be away from giving approvals. Any activity, I am making a very bold suggestion, any activity done under this MoU, director's approval is not necessary. I mean, it's in my opinion, or at least I will, unless it is a financial angle, then it has to come to us. Normal administrative angles will assume, the faculty, for example, you want to share courses, then Dean Academic will, take into thing. So none of thing really had to come as a first point of approval. Some internal process will be there. So we should minimize the getting approval and the bureaucratic things, because that is the strength of this MoU. MoU is very broad. As long as we are carrying out our activities within the spirit of the MoU and in the larger interest of the institutions, we don't have to do that. So it may not be necessary every time. It will lessen the bureaucratic procedures. The other thing is, we could also think of having a joint, a website kind of, not website or a link, something we can create, IISER, IIT, for which we can give a link to our thing, where we list out all our common facilities. IIT has this thing, IISER has this thing. It is all there in some MHRD, in STEM somewhere, but for our immediate help, we can create a center, all these possibilities exist. These are our capabilities, we can put everything into that, and we can link it up, I think document all the facilities, expertises, what are the courses we are offering. Something could be in one single, should be there. And then we have already started joint, one center of excellence, one CAMOST already is there. Second one, which is being worked out, is the energy thing related area. And that is again, Professor Satyanarayana has came with a very good idea. And, we have this Amaraja battery. So together, IISER, Tirupati, IIT, and Amaraja, we are planning for a joint center. We have 3 faculty in electrochemistry, and you also have engineers. It's an ideal thing for engineers and scientists to interact together. So that is something which will very soon will take shape. And the other thing I would like to, I'm just proposing, there could be other issues. So one is, since both of us are building campuses, and you have your master plan, we have our master plan. At that point, we are not. But today, I think our engineers and your engineers can sit together and look at, like we want to have joint hospital, joint school, etc. There could be, they can sit and do the first level of thing, how to accommodate within our existing plans, these kind of, common facilities, how to create that. That is something we can think of. Common facilities in the campus, school, hospital, or a shopping complex, whatever is necessary. We are about 2.5 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So that is something you can ask the committee to look into that. You have started your campus, we have started within the one, without changing too much, within the available broad framework, how we can do that. And similarly, it could be a joint academic committee to work out sharing of academic courses. In these things, we should keep it very simple. Just for our course, we don't want IIT Tirupati to change their courses, or vice versa. Within the existing online running courses, how to accommodate each other, without changing, because any such changes, we have to go to Senate and all that, and we should not do it for the, if our students have taken IIT Tirupati course, I must accept as defined by the IIT Tirupati and accommodate, and vice versa. So sharing of academic courses, adopt to the existing, procedures. And if you want to float some new courses, we can think of, joint, for example, data science, artificial intelligence. There are so many courses. We are quite weak in the engineering, aspects of, courses in advanced engineering. So material sciences, maybe we could think of that. So if you have 3 or 4 committees focus, engineering one, academic committee one, like that, they could work together and, do that. And one other thing we really require help from IIT Tirupati is that, we do not have very active, particularly on the innovation, entrepreneur courses, career development. We are a bit weak, and right away we are constrained, we cannot do that. and I know that IIT Tirupati already have something. So, we would join, and you could, help us also in that thing. And the last couple of them, one is about the medical facilities. Right away we have a couple of doctors. We have just appointed a second AD doctor. You have medical facilities. Our faculty are spread around. So if we can come to an agreement that any of our people can also go and see our doctors, and their doctors can, because of convenience, of expertise, etc., we can expand. That is something we can think of, in the interest of the student, families, etc. And once we were also having, we can even identify a few, about some 10, 15, 20 doctors in the city, have the so-called panel of doctors, and which, faculty will find easier because, we don't have a proper campus. That is something which, will help us. And, mutual, ambulance, and all the medical facilities we could share. Library access is another one, that is easier done actually, and our librarians can work together. And I think the final real hallmark of the two institutions working together will come when we really have joint research papers, joint academic courses, and even sharing, in fact, let us make it a common thing that whenever we get visitors, doesn't matter, we just, share our email addresses, so that whatever, nowadays everything is on Zoom, so we can easily access our lectures, etc. So let us make it a practice, put each other some mailing in the common thing, automatically it goes, and people can join. So that is something, joint research papers, academic courses, etc. can be done. So, I just try to put forward like how we started and what are the way to go forward. There could be even much larger issues, which maybe, Professor Satyanarayana can explain that. So our MoU provides a framework for expanding our activity into all these things. It's a general MoU, all will happen. One can think of, joint degrees, all the kind of things later on. And PhD students sharing courses, joint supervision of PhD, co-supervisor, plenty of things. I think many of these things don't happen. I think people sitting here, we should make it happen. The job of a director is to make things happen. That's what I learned in my thing. Left to that, things don't happen. And we have to make things happen. Let's hope that our MoU will be different from the other MoUs which each one of us have signed, and really take it in a faster scale. By the time our campuses come, we will have a story to write, how the two institutions have reached higher heights because of this collaboration. This thing, sorry, I took a much longer time than what was necessary, but since many senior colleagues are here, I thought I must share some of my thoughts. Thank you.
May I now request Professor Satyanarayana, Director IIT, to give his remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Mohan Kumar. Thank you, Professor Ganesh, for your remarks. He had mentioned that the collaboration started on March 28, 2015, when we had the common Foundation Stone program. But I think it started earlier, when IIT Madras was identified to mentor IIT Tirupati, and the mentor director, Professor Bhaskaramurthy, asked me to come and come to Tirupati and start the activities. I think my first visit was in the first week of January 2015, along with Professor Krishnaya, when we came to see what is this, where we're going to come up and so on. I think subsequently towards the end of February is when I came to know that IISER Pune will be mentoring IISER Tirupati. And that's when I called Professor Ganesh.
I remember that.
I called Professor Ganesh and said that I heard you were mentoring this thing, so we need to start working together on a lot of these initiatives, because we have similar challenges, issues to be addressed, and so on, as we are setting up the new institute. And Professor Ganesh already had the experience of setting up a new institute, so I thought I will also learn from their experience on how they went around doing the process of setting up the new institute. And we had the common program, and he had also alluded. Actually, we were supposed to come up at the Annamacharya Institute here, right down the road here. But when I came along with Professor Krishnaya and visited the institute, we had some apprehensions about the availability of space, about because the space they were giving was very tightly integrated with their existing institutions, two different cultures of an IIT and a private institution, I felt will just not work. And so I felt that we needed a separate the thing. So I told the state government authorities, show me other places. And that's how we went to the place where we were. I think anyone else would have run away from that place, the way that place was, college was. But I saw an opportunity in doing whatever I want with the building. I could demolish what I want, add what I want, and probably my civil engineering background helped a little bit there to see that. So we started that, and from then on, you know, when when they came for the foundation stone is when they were looking at different possibilities, and I had, as you have mentioned, I told them, in case there's an issue, you know, we will take 1 year for the fully utilizing the building. There's always, you started with how many, 60 students?
Initial batch was 40.
40, yeah, 40 students, so easily can be accommodated. You just need a couple of classrooms, we could do that. But more importantly, I saw this as a huge opportunity when these institutions are co-located, and I've always believed in collaborations, and I felt that when people come together or you collaborate, you can multiply. It's a multiplier effect rather than just a summation. So in terms of how we develop our facilities and so on. And I told my colleagues, my senior colleagues, Professor Deshmukh, all these people said, IISER needs any help, just you don't even need to ask me. Go ahead and start this thing. And in case we need their help, we will seek that. And I think Professor Deshmukh, as he pointed out, laid that foundation to start this academic interactions in terms of how we take things forward. So I'm very happy with the way things have evolved. And how we leaned on each other in terms of whenever we had probably a crisis situation. We had a crisis situation about our hostel. You know, our second batch, when they came, we didn't have space where to put these students. And that's when I called up Rajshekhar, who was the acting registrar then. Or I think I was traveling with him on the flight or something like that. And I told him, you know, we don't have hostel space, and I know you're taking this new space, and that is taking into account your future requirements. Can you accommodate our students? So immediately he consulted Professor Ganesh, and we are really indebted to IISER for accommodating our students for 1 year. They stayed in our hostel here in between the 2016-17 period. In the meantime, we hired other facilities and built our space. So that, you know, that sort of cemented the thing when each one is coming to each other's rescue and planning. And this co-location, in May I had met the Chief Secretary, Madam Nilima Swani, and I was chatting with her. And she was the Education Secretary of AP when these institutions were founded, to be grounded. So by the time we had the foundation stone, it changed. Sumita Davra came in, but in 2014, when these institutions were announced, she was the Education Secretary, and she said she was also trying to push Central University to Tirupati. So that way she said, you have engineering, you have science, and you have the humanities, and this thing from Central University, they should have created a huge ecosystem around this place. Of course, the Chief Minister had planned, at that time, the emphasis was on decentralization, push things over the thing, but we were lucky that they decided to host both these institutions in this city. And the fact that the campuses are located on the same road, just 3 kilometers apart. So physically, and today, of course, with all this, what COVID has done is physical distance don't matter. As long as you get onto your computer systems and have your audiovisual systems, you can teach from anywhere to anywhere, but nothing like people meeting and thing. And one of the things that I've been telling my colleagues, and I've been also mentioning, is to align our academic calendars. both the institutions' academic calendars, if they're aligned, then it becomes easy for our students to take courses across campuses. Some of our students, engineering students, they come for engineering, but their passion is still with science. And some of them go on to do masters and PhDs in science after doing electrical engineering, or I have seen even civil engineering students going and doing physics and then PhD in physics and so on. So such students, if they want to do more courses in science, of course we also have our MSc courses available, but courses that are not offered there, that are offered here, and there's no reason why we can't float more electives. We have limited faculty in the institutions, so that students from both the campuses can take electives across the campuses. So we leverage our faculty time for research and free them up in terms of, and also in the process have more elective options for the students. So these are all the opportunities. For that, we have to, we need to align our academic calendars and how we offer our courses and so on. So one thing to get this thing going, IISER had, I think in the first board meeting, they suggested that the director of IIT Tirupati should be on your Senate. Subsequently, we had requested your dean to be on our Senate. So Rajesh has been attending our Senate meetings, so that we understand each other's curriculums or programs, and we can align them. But I think we need to make that relationship a little bit more deeper in how we enable these things across the campus. Similarly, today everything is interdisciplinary. Your students want to do more technical courses. They do the science courses here, but they want to do technology courses that are offered in our computer science program, in our electrical engineering program, or any department. They should be able to come and take those. This will, I think when you have the student-to-student interactions going on, that will make the foundation even stronger. One thing is at the faculty level, but once students start talking and once they start doing things, I think that foundation becomes very strong. So this is something that I feel we should very strongly work towards and ground it as quickly as we can get together. And of course, on the research front, we started the joint research centers, starting with the ChemOst, which, with the passion that Professor Deshmukh has driven it, and into the two teams from both IISER and IIT, and made it happen. So similarly on energy, we've been talking about it. I think we need to get this off the ground as quickly as possible. We have the strength of the application side of it and the basic science. Of course, we also have the strength of to some extent, but IISER's main mandate is the basic science. So that, I think we should get it done quickly. The other area that I'm seeing a great opportunity to a major center is with respect to ecology, environment, and climate change. Because we have people in the area of water resources, air pollution control, water quality, and the engineering aspects of it, the designing of sensors. Now all these are becoming very important in these areas. And then the data capture, data analytics that go with this, because we'll generate huge amount of data in the process. So we have faculty members who have strengths in this, and you have strong ecology, you have people working in earth sciences, right? So if we bring these two, synergize these two strengths, I feel that that's another major center we could take forward, and I think this will evolve as faculty talk to each other and so on as we go forward. Professor Deshmukh talked about the innovation, entrepreneurship, career development. Now that's something IITs are very strong in pushing these things, startup and so on. So recently we've been awarded the Technology Innovation Hub on positioning and precision technologies. This is including the GIS, the remote sensing, how to make it more accurate to centimeter level accuracies, and so on. So again, your earth science program and all this use these technologies quite a bit. So this is going to be a 100 crore grant we are getting over 5 years to set up this technology innovation hub under the National Mission on Cyber Physical Systems. And under that, we have one is the technology development, and second thing is the manpower development, and the third one is the innovation and the startup ecosystem that we need to create. So we want to encourage that to set up our startup ecosystem, and we're already talking to some companies who specialize in this to come and start working with us, entrepreneurship and so on. So your students should be able to just tap into this ecosystem, and as you know that our campus is split into, just like your campus is on either side of the highway, the 530 acres or so on the mountain side, and the 18, 19 acres we have on the other side of the highway. We set that aside for a research park, where industry will come and take space there to set up their research offices and set up their research linkages with both our institutions. Okay, so I think this is something that we should do together, setting up this large research park. IIT Madras Research Park, for example, has been a very big success story among the academic institutions. They've taken the lead, nearly 14 lakh square feet facility that they have created, and that is also in a 12-acre campus across nursing. And I had the opportunity to be the chairman of the company to build that research park. So I had some experience, and that's how the moment I saw this patch of land, I said, we set it aside. And this is something, again, we do it, I think we should do it in a common platform. And of course, IITs are very much about at least the BTech students are very much about their jobs and placement and so on. So we have what we call a career development cell that we have a couple of faculty members in charge. We have an administrator full-time working on this. And we had last year about 60 companies visit us for recruitment purpose. And there's no reason why we could not leverage that for your students also. So when we write to the companies, we could bring to their attention that, especially when they're looking for students with science background, that we could leverage that. So these are all a lot of things that we could do. One more thing is, Professor Ganesh talked about the medical facilities. And in fact, in the MoU, we have specifically detailed out common facilities, school. There's no reason why we should be building 2 schools there. And we've already allotted the space for the schools. It's only a matter of allocating funds and getting it designed and starting the school. And of course, MHRD is now talking about they'll only permit us to start a KV. They will not permit us to start any other thing. And I've requested our registrar to initiate the process of the school facility. And similarly, medical facilities, of course, each of us will have to have our essential health centers in each of our campus, but the specialty, maybe an operation theater, this thing, we could locate it in our 2 campuses that people should be able to leverage. The financial part can be easily worked out in terms of how we do it. And similarly, equipment utilization. We are building, in our first stage, we're building a central instrumentation facility, which is, Murli, a central instrumentation facility, 80,000 square feet? 8,000 square meters? 8,000. Yeah? So about 80,000 square feet facility that we are putting up, that's coming up already. Where we are saying this will be a central instrumentation facility, which where your big microscopes, your SEMs, all these things can be housed for people to use across. And we are coming up with costing for using these facilities, including taking depreciation and all that. And the costing involves, if someone from the institute is using, there's a certain cost assigned to it. An academic institution externally coming and using it, there is a certain cost. And if industry is coming and using it, maybe it will be 3 times the cost. So I think if IISER people need to use it, we could treat it as an institute facility, that someone from the institute is using the facility, whatever is the charge applicable, that would be applicable. Now, these are things that we could work out, that they be treated similar to any other department when it comes to this kind of utilization and access. So these are, similarly, when IISER sets up its labs and facilities, and our people need to use this equipment, so we'll be reciprocating. Coming back to this medical thing, insurance. Now, one of the things with insurance is bigger the numbers, better is the rates you get. So I don't see any reason why we should not have a common insurance, this thing for our faculty and staff from both institutions and students also. So this is something I think the registrars can work on, because then you have the numbers, it becomes viable. One of the problems we are facing is because we don't have enough numbers, we are not able to get competitive rates. So this is something that I request both the registrars to look into it and see how we could make it happen. So thank you very much for putting this together. We have a few faculty members who have recently joined us also. So maybe some of you, they have not been introduced to you.
I should have first asked the people to introduce, so that they know who is who.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just go around and then...
we could do that.
Yeah.
So
we go...
we'll start with Raghu.
We'll start from that side.
Yeah, we'll start with Raghu.
Just say, your name, your discipline, and if you have any functional responsibilities in the institute.
Oh, hello, sir. So I'm Raghu. I'm a quantum and a computational chemist. I work in the chemistry department, and I've been here since 2015. It's a pleasure to interact with the colleagues from IIT here.
Yeah, Raghu has been one of the first early faculty members who's been here probably longer than most people.
Right from the first day, perhaps. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Vasudharani. I'm a biology faculty and I research on neuroscience, my research thrust area. I'm also chair of student affairs at IISER Tirupati.
Good morning all. This is Ramesh Damarla. I'm Deputy Registrar Finance and Accounts. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. This is Narayan Rao from Engineering Services, IISER Tirupati.
Hello, good morning everybody. I'm Rajesh Viswanathan. My research area is chemical biology of natural products, and I'm the Associate Dean of Undergraduate Studies.
Rajesh is also a Senate member in our institute, one of our Senate.
Good morning everyone, I am Nagraj. I am chair of Maths Department.
So I'm Ambika. I'm the coordinator of academic programs at IISER Tirupati. I'm also functioning as chair of physics right now. I work in nonlinear dynamics and complex systems.
Good morning, I am Vijay, chair of chemistry and director, Dean R&D. I also want to add that one or two programs we are also collaborating, which I am sure you know. One is about this, Andhra Pradesh government has come up with a medical park technologies. Both IIT and IISER, we have provided support letters. This is a 400 crore program. We hope it would come. And in addition to that, there is a cryo microscopy center which IIT Chennai has put a big program where both of us are partners. I'm sure that many other programs would come. With this, we look forward for synergizing both institutions. Thank you.
Yeah, it was mentioned that Vijay is the former director of SECRI in one of the CSIR labs in Karaikudi, and of course we know each other from NCL days. And he was the director of NCL, a very large lab before coming. And I think both myself and Professor Satyanarayana influenced him to come to Tirupati. He had lots of other options. I think we were bent upon that with Amar Raja around, batteries. So he would be the right person to come and initiate it. So we really worked on him, and Vijay finally joined us. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I am AVV Prasad, Registrar IIT Tirupati for the last 2.5 years.
Sir, good morning, sir. This is Adinarayana from IIT Tirupati. advisor administration. I am working since 2015.
He's one of the first person who came to the, from March 2015 he's been with us.
Good morning, this is Mr. Chaman Mehta. I am Deputy Registrar Academics and General Administration at IIT Tirupati.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suresh.
Yeah, I'm sure all of you I mentioned, Chaman was with us. He also started right from early days. Did wonderfully contributed to our administration as assistant registrar academic.
Yeah, he's not using the word we poached him.
So Suresh Chen from Department of Civil Engineering. I work in air quality management, and I'm also responsible for the Dean Academics at IIT Tirupati.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sashidhar Guma. I'm in the Department of Chemical Engineering, and I'm Dean International Affairs at IIT.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Karthikeyan. I'm in the Department of Electrical Engineering. I work on RF circuits, antennas, sources, and systems, and I'm Dean Faculty Affairs there.
So Karthikeyan just joined us a month back. Yeah. He was head of the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Roorkee, and then he was also an associate dean there.
Very good morning to you all. Happy to be present here in this formal MoU. I'm Professor Murali Krishna from Department of Civil Engineering with Geotechnical Engineering as a specialization. I'm also functioning as a Dean of Planning and Infrastructure at IIT Tirupati. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Pularao. I'm in the Department of Chemistry at IIT Tirupati in the past 1.5 years or so. And yeah, we have recently been in the activity to initiate with Vijay to plan something on the SAFE to be brought to our both institute together. So let's hope that will work out all right. As far as my research is concerned, I'm an inorganic chemist in the area of biological inorganic chemistry and inorganic materials. So we're trying to work in these lines and teaching both research as well in these lines. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Durga Prasad Challa. My area of research is inverse problems. Currently, I am the head of the Mathematics and Statistics Department of IIT Tirupati.
Hello, good morning to everyone. My name is Kodeshwar Rao, Head of Physics. I do work on multiferrics and energy-related materials. So I am also part of the Central Instrumentation Facility at IIT Tirupati. I hope we will have a mutual discussions on behalf of purchasing the major equipment facilities between IISER and IIT. Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning to everybody. I am Raghavendra. I am now a freelance teacher at IIT Tirupati.
Yeah, I must also mention, I forgot to mention, Mr. Raghavendra also has taught courses in mathematics at IISER Tirupati, and we very frequently seek his advice on various issues related to mathematics. Thank you, Professor Raghavendra. Sorry about that.
Hello, good morning. So I am Professor N.N. Kishore. I am a visiting faculty in the Department of Mechanical Engineering.
So one thing I just wanted for the information of our colleagues at IISER, we now have 90 faculty members with another 3 to join. Offers have been made, they'll be joining. The 93 was a sanctioned position, we filled all the 93. Now we're going to release advertisement for another 12 to 13 faculty members. So 1:10 ratio. So that is thing. And during the Board of Governors meeting that we had on 27th, previous week, Secretary Higher Education, Mr. Amit Khade ji, he is also our Chairman Board of Governors. So he was, in fact, he mentioned it the previous board meeting also. Again, he brought it up this board meeting and got it minuted, saying that the directors of IIT and IISER should be invitees on each other's boards. So I think now that it's minuted and this thing, so So there's something for the registrars to note that the ministry is recommending that we work more closely. So that's why they felt that we should be on each other's boards. And the ministry was very happy that we are signing this MoU. Yeah, I just thought I'll add those points.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. It should have been done, incorporated into our constitution itself when they had that. I must tell that when IISERs were established, Pune and Calcutta came, and it was on the board of governors, the director of one of the IISER was in the other one. I was on Calcutta board and Calcutta was in Pune board. And later on when IISERs expanded, they cut and pasted our memorandum with all the other IISERs, the board constitution, which said IISER Pune director. So I was in the board of directors of 5 IISERs for the first 5 years. And you have 3 board meetings in each IISER. I had to go for 15 board. But the thing was, it was a very good experience. So I knew in the initial days how each IISER came, what were the difficulties they were facing. The problems are different. So it is a very, very good, educative thing to share our experience. So it's good that, I think in the coming, we have our board meeting and itself will start implementing. I think once your minutes are approved, if you can share that extract, then we'll put it and right from the first meeting itself, we can start this practice. Yeah, so.
Now we'll have the formal signing of the MoU and exchange of MoU by the directors of both the institutions, and after that we'll have a brief remarks from the registrar of IIT, but first we'll do the signing.
So on every page you have to sign, except the first page, right?
You can initial on each of the pages.
Yeah. So make sure that when what they given, it's a new one, it was dry. So you already check. Let's just make sure that. It should be in the box or the.
So you can sign on the left side.
Okay.
Sir can sign on the left.
Wherever logo is there, we'll sign on that side. You want to sign this way? Oh, below the logo. Yes, sir. On that side, and then within the box.
Within the box.
Initials are the last page. The last one. Actually, we could have flashed it on the. Okay.
Yeah, one of the reasons for the MoU is maybe Professor Ganesh and I have hit it off and make it happen, but the next directors, they should take it forward and with the so that's why it's good to have a formal MoU.
Yeah. Although we are signing, it is a MoU between the institutions, so all of you are stakeholders in this MoU.
I now request the Registrar IIT Tirupati to make his remarks.
Professor K.N. Ganesh, Director IISER Tirupati, Professor K.N. Satyanarayana, Director Director IIT Tirupati, my colleague and counterpart, Dr. C.P. Mohan Kumar, faculty and colleagues from the administration from both the institutes. Today will be marked as a red letter day in the annals of both the institutes. This comes as a culmination of efforts and aspirations of the directors and the faculty and all of us over a period of time. So we have inked this as a formal agreement, and this will go a long way. This has a multiplier effect, not just a summation, as our director has rightly put it. In fact, science and technology take us forward, and the ability to work together, to be together, and to prosper together is actually the real thing. And by adding our efforts, we are going to actually bring about the critical mass quite faster than if we work separately. And it will actually take us to greater heights. The test of this success will be if we can actually find avenues, opportunities rightly and faster, and team up and work in teams and be ready to yield space to each other and be willing to share credits with others. So this is going to be our basis for success to come. And from the administration of IIT Tirupati, I pledge my wholehearted commitment for the success of this MoU. And I look forward to working together on many fronts that have already been mentioned in it, in this agreement, and for all those areas which have not been mentioned. We see opportunities in, say, areas like a housing society, and a housing society, actually we can come together and take house sites and do construction also. So all those possibilities are there. And all the others we have mentioned, we should actually start working on them. And being together on the on Senate, we have already been there, and on BOG we will be there. So we really wholeheartedly start working on each of the areas identified and take it forward. So I thank you very much for making it happen. We have really looked forward to this day when this MoU would be signed, and it has been signed. And it augurs well for both the organizations. I thank you very much for this and wish you all the best.
Thank you. You know, I just recollected, one is, things what you could mention is one of things for the students is about counseling. I think we could open up because, counselors, each one have their own way of specialization. If some way we can, allow the counselors of each institute to give the students an opportunity, that would be very useful. Because we have, for example, we have one counselor, what's the name, one who comes, yeah. And then we are also operating to that Your Dost, which we again got from IT Madras, reference. But if you have other thing, we can also make it open to others, the students. That is one. The second one is about the public outreach programs. If you are conducting, we can join together and, conduct whether popular science lectures or whatever outreach programs. I think in all these kind of things, the announcements can go as a joint activity. And the third one, which we have not talked about, is about sports. Student sports. would be another. We can see how we could, both competitive and cooperative. Sports had to be competitive, so we could organize, regular, this is beyond COVID, not now, yeah. Faculty level also, yes, right, yeah.
And we have a good group life insurance scheme.
Yeah, insurance is a
and we are covering, I think, 60 lakhs of rupees for the Group A officers and 30 lakhs at a very reasonable rate of premium. It was working out 400 rupees for 60 lakhs for us per month. Yeah. This is the best of all IITs have got, because I've been in touch with them.
So now we have a few minutes. What we would like to do is, we have very, very short film because many of you could not come. We had our groundbreaking ceremony.
Yeah.
Satyanarayana was here. We just have a 10 minutes video or something which we would like to show you. So, and before that, I would like to open, if any of the members would like to make very brief comments about what has not been covered or what you have done. If you have any further ideas, we could just quickly have some comments, if any of you have any comments.
Yeah, just quickly, I just wanted to also inform the IISER colleagues that another CSIR director has joined IIT Tirupati, Dr. Raghav Rao, CFTRA director. He has joined IIT Tirupati because we have identified food technology and precision agriculture as one of our thrust areas. So to give an impetus to that area, he has joined us again 3 weeks back. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could interface very well both with our, we have a food chemistry or food science course which Nirmala is doing, and also in our plant science group also, where anything food comes, it could be a good. Yeah. Yeah, I must mention that the plant sciences is one area where IISER Tirupati is taking a lead. We have 3 faculty, and we would like to establish a center for excellence in plant science. There's also a need for the local environment, resistant crops, crop resistant, root engineering. So we want to have a very active group. So we can also bring anybody. Yeah, so we also have this plant science group. We are trying to establish a center for plant sciences. We are also looking to the niche areas where other IISERs have not positioned themselves. Yeah. And that is something. Plant science is one. I think plant, food, they're all related to each other, so we could do that.
This exactly, we're already, I think, reaching out to them because we have other area we have identified as food technology and precision agriculture. So from our side, we are looking at the engineering aspects of it, the sensors, the image processing to identify the diseases or to identify the yield for interventions, then the sensors and then the communication systems from the sensors, analysis, then how do you deliver? Delivery is again an engineering problem. The right amount of water, right amount of nutrients, right amount of pesticides or insecticides. But then we don't see consciously, because IISER was there, the biology area we have kept it. We have not started investing in the biology area because we said we will depend on IISER for the biology part of it and we will focus on the technology and engineering aspects of it. And in precision agriculture, definitely the domain is in biology in terms of the actual end, but the back end is all engineering. So that's where I think we have a lot of scope. Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Murli also.
Yeah.
We are talking about the sharing of infrastructure. Yeah, we talked about sharing of infrastructure, particularly the school and hospital infrastructure. No, I think that planning. I think we have to work on sharing of the thing. So, what are the plans at IISER currently they are having, and then maybe we can start discussing on these aspects.
Yeah, we'll have a small committee. We'll make. Right away we have a small clinic. That's all is approved by the DPR. Is a small 3 inpatients kind of thing, and that's all one.
In
our schools, we have not got any approval for the school as such. So,
okay. So these things I think immediately maybe
and we'll see,
if we start now and at least 1 year later it may
resources from other places.
Yeah,
schools
1 year
and hospitals. I'm sure we can find people to.
Okay. That is one point.
Because we have plenty of land, I think, in that sense. I think this is something we should really create a good facility because the way in which you attract good faculty is also because of other family life. I think schools and medical facilities play a very important role. Right away, our medical facility in the city is not up to, I think generally, I think we should create very good facility of, international standards that will help us attract good faculty. Yeah.
We're going to join KV, isn't it?
Yeah,
Together.
KV.
We have set aside almost nearly 10 acres.
And also a good shopping center, very important.
Incubation center, anything we can do together?
Yeah,
Incubation entrepreneur.
We'll have small subcommittee. We could work on their plans and we could. Pardon me? Yeah, we already have the engineering. They have engineering workshop. We already have.
Yeah. So in our physics department, instrumentation and workshop, we are not planning in a big way. That can be from.
We have this precision. We are also developing this expertise to do precision manufacturing. So especially for this lenses and these kinds of things, where you need very high precision manufacturing. So I think all of you should come and see the workshop we are developing.
Okay, that's good.
Those
Thanks.
Are in need,
Yeah.
chemistry, they can make a visit and see. I remember in IISER Pune, the very first year, we had tied up with an engineering college, and student, it was a 1 week, every week. You remember, because the students used to go into workshop, they foundry and all those kind, carpentry even. That's very good actually. Too.
We have all those things. We have lathes, carpentry, electrical workshops, which we teach our students. So if your students need to come and use that facility, we can enable it.
Yeah.
One more point I would like to add regarding this drinking water supply project. Tomorrow we schedule a meeting with RWSS team, so hope you can join.
Okay, good. Anybody else would like to make any comments, suggestions? We will work on that, small committees, little bit, to work on the specific plans in each of the areas. Okay, so. Yeah, I'm sure this is the first meeting, and we will proceed for our faculty and students. We had sent it, so we'll close this, and after this we can have a small video.
So we will conclude this MoU signing ceremony, but before we do so, I have a few people to thank. At the outset, I would definitely like to thank both Professor Satyanarayana and Professor Ganesh for their vision in bringing about an MoU between these two institutions. As they had said in their remarks, this was a thought process that they had from the very inception, and today it has culminated in a formal signing of the MoU. So thanks to both of you, sir, for making this happen and for the guidance that both of you have given in making this MoU, preparing this MoU and having it approved by the respective boards. I would also like to thank all the faculty from IIT Tirupati and the faculty from IISER Tirupati who are here today to witness the signing of this momentous MoU. And I'm sure this MoU will become an example for many other institutions now that IIT Tirupati itself is an educational hub, and maybe this sort of collaboration with other institutions will now happen. I also thank my colleague and counterpart, Mr. Rao Garu, for having spent his time on the MoU, and Prasad Garu, apologies, for spent his time on the MoU and sharing it with us. I also need to thank Professor Murali Krishna in particular, because when our campus CPWD proposal for construction was happening, he was very closely involved with us in making it happen. Thank you very much, sir. And I would also like to thank the deputy registrars, and one person I would like to thank profusely is my dear colleague Inderpreet Singh Kohli. I don't know where he is. He keeps disappearing to get things happen. Where are you?
Yeah, he's a one-man army. Thank you.
He has made today's this ceremony happen.
Your director tells me you're now a COVID expert.
Yeah. You can easily give a lecture on COVID.
If the BSL facility has happened in just 3 months' time.
I must say that, we could not, it's a very small place, we could not take all of you. So we just, we have established a COVID testing lab for the, we get samples, we don't collect samples. And it's a BSL 3 close to that facility. And Professor Satyanarayana saw that, and we have, I think, one of the most modern, latest things which is available. So we could not take all of you because it's a very small place. So that today we took this opportunity to get the ribbon cut, so that this date also gets incorporated to the COVID-19 lab.
So I was just saying that Kohli has been instrumental in making this lab happen in just 3 months, coordinating not just with the suppliers but also with the Andhra Pradesh government. And he will now be coordinating. He's confident that we'll get the approvals also in just a few days' time from ICMR. So that's the level of liaising that he has been doing, and thanks to Kohli for that. I also thank my engineering and IT team in particular for making this event go live through streaming. One of the things that we have also done at the end of this is we have prepared a draft joint press release, which we will share it with you, and if you have any edits and suggestions with the few photographs that have been taken today, we'll put it out, and maybe Kohli and Chaman can coordinate on that and get that done. As far as medical insurance is concerned also, we are working on a medical insurance, but now that you have one already, we would like to have a look at it and take...
We don't have a medical one, but we have a general insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, life insurance. Medical insurance, we've been struggling.
We have already started, we have got the quotes, we have gone a long way, but we'll share it with you, and then we will also talk to the insurance company if the numbers are large, because as you said, the law of averages is what works. Yes. So that is one thing definitely both of us will work on. So I'd like to thank all of you for being here, and thank you very much for coming to IISER Tirupati. Thank you.
So there are small goodies are there. It's mainly for something to eat. So either you can open the box, eat, or you can carry home, whatever it is.
These are completely from a safe, sanitized...
It's all, safe, sanitized, and, yeah. So you can just play this short video, which put the